Jesse Palmer. My name is Dan Quinn. I'm a future Nobel Prize winner for discovering stevia cures cancer, type 2 diabetes, and fat/obesity in blazing speed when ingested in massive doses. And it also splits water into a natural gas inside a blender that can power engines like gasoline, only it's healthy. Yeah, I love your show, Jesse. I love The Bachelor. Watch it every chance I can get. I was going to start off with, hey, pretty boy, especially since you're a quarterback, but I didn't want to alienate you. I wanted to make a connection, possibly, if someone pays this forward to you. I discovered, like I said, 2 miracles, Jesse, that are going to rock the world. And I'll show you one of them right now, how easy it is to make the fountain of youth and turn regular toxic water that's making people sick into an elixir that acts like the fountain of youth, brings 17-year-old cancerous, skeleton-thin, sneezing blood bubbles at the vet cats back into perfect health until 19, until the reintroduction of toxic water killed her within 30 days. Fill a cup up about yay so. If you were using a real blender, it should only be a third, because stevia causes water to triple in size inside a blender. But this isn't a blender, it's just a frother. See how water starts to vanish? It splits water apart. All the hidden toxins that are making people sick will float like soap for easy removal. Can you see the water starting to reform? See that huge layer of soap? Take a straw, bypass the soap, drink what I call pure H2O. And stop with the soap. That's all the hidden toxins that are making people sick, brother. I discovered how to get it out. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be famous. And I thought, why the fuck not make a video to Jesse Palmer, especially since one of your contestants, one of the ladies, has a best friend that has cancer. If she got on a pound of stevia a month, it would cure her, especially if she used a blender to get all the hidden toxins out of water before she drank it. That's the best stevia on the market for the price. Mood and Mind Stevia from Amazon.com. It only costs $46.95. Let me get a cigarette. I just lost my train of thought. Anyhow, Jesse Palmer, 2 miracles that will rock the world. Definitely. And here's one that you can play on your beautiful wife. You guys make a fantastic looking couple. Your kids, when they're born, should thank their lucky stars that they have the genes that you guys are going to give them. The fountain of orgasm for women, Jesse. How to take women, even women that have been raped, not women that have had a C-section. C-sections cut through vital nerves that negate the fountain of orgasm. But what I call the violin, that's the name for the fountain of orgasm that I've given it. 2 fingers in and up to the bottom of the G-spot. 2 fingers, you wrap your arm around her leg, press down on her lower abdomen against your 2 fingers that are inside. Touch fingers and start massaging. Every time you do that, it gives her an orgasm feeling. Be careful you don't touch your fingers too long at one time, because you'll wear her out. I've taken a woman that was raped and couldn't come to over 100 orgasms in an hour. You want a cigarette? You got one? There's a, here. Anyhow, I took a woman that was raped and couldn't come to over 100 orgasms in an hour. We had to take breaks every 10 to 15 minutes because her pelvis was coming off the bed to attack my face. It was a workout for her, straight up, okay? Play that on your wife. When her pelvis comes off the bed to attack your face, know that Stevia is even more of a miracle than the violin is for sex. So I've upgraded the Kama Sutra, and I've discovered cold fusion / fission. Cold fusion makes no sense, okay? Putting two things together to make energy. How about splitting water apart, especially since water powers cars right now? Petroleum is only used. John, can you get out of the camera?
Oh, okay.
Especially since water powers cars right now, petroleum is only used to ignite from the spark and explode hydrogen into power and eventually smog. Water is gone. Einstein was wrong in his theory that nothing ever vanishes, okay? Water is vanishing at a precipitous, dangerous rate. See how that soap is returning to what looks like water? How about all the things we pour down the sink and the drain that look like water, that are toxic and will kill you, okay? How about fluoride that we're pouring down the sink and the drain when we spit it out in our toothpaste? We have more fluoride in our water, Jesse, than the Jews did pre-World War II when the Gestapo dosed our water supply and turned them into sheep and cattle going to the gas chambers. Anyhow, Jesse Palmer, I like you. I think. Who knows? People put on a different persona when they are on TV, but you seem like a really good guy. There's a contestant, like I said, that lady that her best friend has cancer. If she only knew that Stevia cures cancer. And here's something. There's a government website that actually mentions Stevia curing cancer now, 12 years after I discovered it. It's at ncbi.nlm.nih.gov. That's ncbi.nlm.nih.gov. When you get there, plug in anti-cancer properties of Stevia rebaudiana. That's Stevia, Stevia, and rebaudiana is Rebaudiana, and it'll pop up that there's actually anti-cancer properties. That's what I knew when I read that Stevia was off the charts in alkalinity. I knew that if you used a lot of it, it would cure cancer, and it did. The first time I ever saw Stevia split water apart, I put a bunch of Stevia into a blender full of water, shut the lid, turned my back, started doing something else, and the blender started to struggle and whine. I turned around, I saw that white soup seeping out of the seal, and I'm like, what the fuck? And the top blew off, and this white soup went over everything, and I'm like, oh my God, I found it. I knew exactly what had happened, that it had turned water into a gas. I was watching the water, and it morphed, or I was watching the white soup, and it morphed back into water with that huge layer of soap. And I'm like, motherfucker. Unbelievable. It fulfilled the vision that I had 35 years ago at Notre Dame when I was playing football. I'll tell you what, Jesse, I'm talking to you as a contemporary in pro football. I could have, if I had chosen football over boxing. I make the greatest stop in the history of Notre Dame football. Check out Dan Quinn's Notre Dame play at YouTube. It's me on 4th and inches on the goal line, catching a tailback, diving for a touchdown, and I get fired for it immediately by Lou Holtz when I hit the sideline. He was shaving points. He didn't want to win that game. And I thought, you know what? With my connections to the criminal underworld, I would have coaches killed. I don't want to go to prison for the rest of my life. So I quit football for boxing, and I never looked back. But Frank Stamms, that played 8 years in the NFL. I beat him like he was a redheaded fucking stepchild every time we went against each other. He was a fullback. I was an outside linebacker. Pass rush drills. I fucked him up. That's why Lou Holtz kicked me off the team for no reason. He said I wasn't doing the little things that it takes to play football at Notre Dame, you know. And it paved the way for Frank to take over Cedric Figaro's position. You never heard of Cedric Figaro? I tell you what, he was like a Lawrence Taylor type player if he wasn't so lazy and worked out harder, but talent galore. And he was a Russian, and they moved Frank to Russian because Frank couldn't cover any backs out of the backfield. He couldn't cover wide receivers. Well, that's unheard of, unless it's me in practice, shutting down every wide receiver and running back that I went against. Jerry Faust, before he got fired, called me over to go in pass drills, and I shut down Alan Pinkett man for man. I shut down, I can't even remember, I didn't go against Tim Brown, but I could cover black running backs and wide receivers man for man, and that's unheard of for a white boy. I was the fastest player on the field, maybe not the quickest. I ran a 4.67, but like Marcus Allen, I had speed to burn. Anyways, Jesse Palmer, Stevia cures cancer. I'm the one that discovered it, and I'm going to be a Nobel Prize winner eventually. And if you could maybe not mention Stevia on your show, but mention Stevia to that female contestant that has a friend that has cancer, get her drinking very, very, very sweet water all day long. Have her use a blender to get those toxins out of the water before she drinks it. It'll cure her, and it will lead to a Nobel Prize. And with that money that I'm going to get from a Nobel, I'm going to build big blenders in every city. Well, you only get $1.5 million for a Nobel Prize, but based on projected future sales of a liquid that I call Pure H2O that acts like the fountain of youth, I'll be able to get a loan in the billions of dollars, I think. And with that, what I'm going to do is pay everybody who helped me get there a house, a car, and $100,000. So 760-809-1744. Like I said, Dan Quinn, I'm a legend, homeboy, in the criminal underworld, knocking out Sac Maniac Taz on a level 4 yard in Sacramento County Jail, 8 West 200 pod, to where all the northern Mexicans and the Nuestra Familia and the Oak Park Zilla Bloods, according to Bryce Twisted Peeler, my best friend, they were chanting my name for 2 hours after I was gone. Okay? How about when Richard Bam Bam Duran, threw the Norteña weight behind my back in RCCC when there was a potential race riot over bullshit, and the Mexicans getting a white's back in jail and prison? Unheard of. Maybe not unheard of, but extremely rare. Anyhow, I'm going to become famous with or without your help. Without it, I hope you actually hear this video and pass it on to that female contestant, cure her friend, and maybe she'll make contact, and we'll get the ball rolling. Cure people, I'll become rich, and with that money, what I'm going to do, Jesse, I'm going to build companies that pay 95% of profit down to the workers who made it, okay? We live in a slave system where it's designed like a pyramid. All the people on the bottom toiling and striving and working their asses off and paying all the profit up to the pinnacle, to the top, to a few who don't deserve it. I'm going to wreck that with billions of dollars. That's part of my vision. I hope you can become a part of it. And good luck in life. Good luck with your show. Peace out.